For today's video number 3, I'm going to go through a list of top 10 most famous cat burglars. This will be fun. Number 1, I wouldn't even put him in the number 1 spot, but we'll get there, because some people just, I guess I guess they get horny for him. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. I honestly don't know. I really don't know. But we're going to get into this list. There's going to be some crazy ones, and some of these burglars were actually, I think some of them were from the United Kingdom, and they were executed. Because bear in mind, in the olden times, in the 1800s, 1700s, sometimes 1600s, that's all they ever did. Especially highwaymen. Quite a few highwaymen were also executed, unfortunately. Although that was the punishment for the time, and punishment for such a thing has since changed, and it's probably a good thing. You can save execution for more really serious offenses. So starting off at number 10 on this list, we have Bill Mason. I've never heard of him, but he was apparently an archetypal cat burglar who only steals from the famous and rich people, avoiding arrest through stealth and cunning, carrying out different schemes to fence every item he stole. Now, honestly, when I see this dude's picture, you can look up the list by from top10y.com, and it's a cool place. It really is. He looks just like your friendly neighbor or a friendly grandpa who talks about stories around the fire or takes your kids fishing. But yeah, it is kind of odd, but that's all they have for him on this list. But yeah, that's all I can see. Starting at number 9, we have Blaine David Nordahl, called the Silver Thief. He actually made his life pilfering costly silver items from the fancy homes around the East Coast areas of America. He's believed to have gained $3 million in about 150 burglary cases throughout his life as a cat burglar. It's unknown if he's still alive. Now, number 8, I've actually talked about this person. Her name is Doris Payne. She was an African-American woman who was born in West Virginia in 1930 and became one of the most prolific jewel thieves in the world for about 60 years. She had been to every city around the globe and was able to find jewelry and take it. And you would think most jewelry stores would learn to upgrade the security at some of these places, but sadly most people never tend to learn. And this is what just baffles me, because you hear about this and you're like, oh, it's never going to happen to me. Well, it did. Sorry, but it did. Number 7, the Hillside Gang. This nickname is given by policemen to master thieves who targeted celebrity mansions in the area of the Beverly Hills area in Los Angeles. The victims were often musicians, sports stars, actors, and movie directors. Nothing else is known about them, but they are put in the number 7 spot. Number 6, Alan Golder. Never heard of him, but he's a strange one. He started young as a cat burglar and became renowned as the dinner time bandit. During the 1970s, while he was in his 20s, like every good cat burglar, he was good at climbing walls, drain pipes, trestles, and he did it even when the occupants were having dinner. Well, did you guys feed him? Geez, I wonder if anybody actually took the time. It's like, well, would you like something to eat? Gee. But nothing else is known about him. Safe to assume he was sent to prison and was released. But he may have tried some good luncheon for a dinner from a house. I don't know. Number 5. Madhukar Mohandas Prabhakar from Pune, India. Wow. I certainly hope I pronounced his name right. I probably didn't. He's a successful and wealthy thief living in Pune, India. He stole a lot of money over 40 years and is now a millionaire. He also owns 4 plush bungalows and has a hotel business he manages with the assistance of his son. In spite of getting arrested for many times, the police failed to stop him and did not succeed at putting him behind bars due to lack of evidence. Wow. It's assumed he's still alive, but most likely not. He is an old dude, after all. Number 4, Charles Peace. He started his career as a criminal since his late teenage age. Maybe put his late teen years instead of teenage age. That makes 0 sense. And continued until he was finally caught up and hanged at the age of 47. He's a small man with a limp, yet was fit and agile. The qualities depended on to avoid getting caught. And I believe this was in the 1800s, so he's an old burglar. And, yeah, he's a strange one, another one. Number 3, Anthony Spilotro. Anthony Spilotro was yet another cunning and clever burglar who was also a gangster, apparently, who operated during the 1970s in Las Vegas. Originally ordered to pay attention with the skim used by a lot of mafia crime families to make money from casino counting rooms, they owned to get rid of taxes. But Spilotro became wanted and impatient to earn extra cash and initiated a gang to steal more money from high-profile heists. He was eventually caught and arrested and sentenced to prison. The sentence wasn't specified, as it's not really, and nothing much else is known about him. But there is a Mafia and Gangsters Museum in Las Vegas, and if you live in Las Vegas City, in Las Vegas, Nevada, I would highly recommend visiting it, as it was a really cool place to go to this museum. I think it's called the Mob Museum, and you learn a lot of loads of different people, not just Al Capone and Machine Gun Kelly, not the singer. I think he's terrible, but you learn a lot. But yes, you do, and it's really cool. Number 2, Hajime Karasuyama. He is a Japanese gentleman cat burglar. I knew he was from Japan because I suspected the name was either Japanese or Chinese, but I figured out, he's Japanese. Cool. Who's capable of picking locks at will and get through the windows silently using a glass cutter, of course. He always knows where cash and jewelry are stored. It's safe to assume he was caught and was arrested, but nothing much else is known. And here's number 1. This shouldn't be number 1. I don't know why they couldn't pick somebody else, like maybe Butch Cassidy. No, he may not be a cat burglar, but outlaws in general, Butch Cassidy or Jesse James or Billy the Kid or John Wesley Hardin would make number 1. But this one, no. And I disagree with this one. Number 1. Oh, you'll love this. Colton Harris Moore. I'm sorry, but I disagree with that. And he's only renowned because he stole a fucking airplane. What do you expect? It's an airplane, and allegedly doing things barefoot, which is not really true. Because imagine breaking into a house and you figure out it's the kids' room and there's Legos on the floor and you step on a Lego with a bare foot. I've done that before, just walking out of my room to go to the bathroom, and let me tell you, that hurts. So you're telling me a guy who was a teenager at the time who looks like the freaking Hamburgler is number 1. I disagree with this heavily. But regardless, he is a renowned burglar of recent times who got the nickname Barefoot Bandit after committing different burglaries without shoes, which is not really true. That's just a myth. Like all outlaws, they usually have a myth surrounding them. It's quite the common thing here in the U.S. He's not what most would consider as a professional burglar due to his infamous reputation. Yeah, I don't know about stealing airplanes. It's like, really? burglaries, airplanes, cars, boats, and he looks like the Hamburglar. Then again, I wouldn't be surprised if he might be related to the World War I German ace Manfred von Richthofen, as he does have a little bit of that dude's slight resemblance, but I don't see it. But you could call him the Hamburglar. He looks like that. He'd make a perfect Hamburglar because he looks like the Hamburglar. Honestly, he really does to me. In these pictures of when he was younger, he looks like the Hamburglar. But other than that, that'll be it for today's list. And oh, the Hamburglar. Oh yeah, I see the Hamburglar anytime I see one of those pictures of when he was young. I see the Hamburglar. I'm sorry, I just see the Hamburglar. But I get the feeling there was likely a lady amongst the list who was probably a teenager and was like, "Oh, my senpai, he's right there. Oh, let's make him #1. Oh, he's my senpai." You know how, most teenagers are nowadays. But anyway, this will be it for today's video number 3. If you like today's video, feel free to like, subscribe, share with family and friends, and leave a comment in the comment section down below. And I don't know if the Blues are playing tonight, but let's go Blues. And yeah, the Blues have a Colton. His name's Colton Parayko. He's number 55, and finally he's starting to throw some punches, or at least check some hard people. Those hard-headed other players who won't let you score a goal. But anyways, good night, all. Well, good day, all. Have a wonderful Monday, and let's go Blues. I'll sure be warm for winter, hooray, hooray. I'll be warm for winter with all this fire around me that's just disappearing away. Goodbye, everyone. See you for video number 4.